Hello, everyone. This is Marsha Williams Cromer, and welcome to the Rancho and Stilettos Presents Cocktails and Conversations. I am so super excited. You guys have no idea. The Francophile in me is so excited to bring on Tanisha Mercer. My absolute, I told you I wasn't really stalking you, but when I found out that you were originally from the States and we're both Francophiles, and especially for Paris, I just had to reach out, and I'm so grateful that you're coming on to talk to me.
Thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I want to just say cheers to both of us for living in our now, living in our dreams, and reaching
Yes.
for those things that I think at some point may have seemed impossible, but you put one foot in front of the other, girl.
Yes, girl. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you're right.
Okay.
At one point, this did seem impossible. I will
I
say that.
know, I know. I'm like putting like little toes in the water.
Yes.
That's where I am right now. But
Yes.
I want to talk to you. I've shared with my audience that from a very young age, I had this, passion around Paris. And one of
Okay.
the reasons is I was an avid reader. I have a cousin who owned a black bookstore. She would share books with
Ooh.
me. And one of my very first loves was James Baldwin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The
And then
James Baldwin.
yeah,
Yes.
and I found out about his success as a Black artist, as a
Mhm.
writer, moving to Paris and finding work and opportunities that he didn't find in the United States, right? And I
Yes.
thought, I've always been a writer. He was someone that I looked up to. Many of the artists, Quincy Jones, Nina
Mhm.
Simone, many of them found success there. So, I'm hearing this and I want to know this place. So I want to see what it's all about. So over the years, girl, I won't even tell you how long it took before I got a chance to visit Paris. But when I was 18, I got a passport. I didn't know where
Okay.
I was going, but I was going. Okay.
But you
And I,
had one. You
yeah,
had one.
yes,
Yes.
which actually ended up being like from a work standpoint, a really great opportunity came up at work, and
Okay.
nobody had a passport but me. And
Oh,
so I got a chance to
wow.
go on that trip for my company. And just, I was like, look at God. When you plant those seeds,
Hmm.
it's amazing, amazing. When did you
Absolutely.
know that you loved Paris? When was that? Was it younger? Was it once you got there and saw it? How did that work out?
No, for me, it was as a teenager. I had a different introduction. I love your introduction. You were introduced to the literary side, the art side, right? You
Right.
knew, these wonderful people, artists, musicians, writers,
Yes.
etc., who had moved to Paris. I initially did not know that. How I found my love of Paris was I've always been into fashion.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
me
was,
too.
yeah, I was a little girl, I'm like 10, 11, 12. I'm reading Vogue, I'm reading
Yes.
Harper's Bazaar, Elle magazine. And where was the place? The place
Right,
was
right.
Paris and it was Milan, Italy, right?
Yes, yes. That's right.
So that was my first introduction to Paris. And as a little girl, I grew up in Detroit. I'm a Detroit
Right.
native,
Hmm.
313. And I'm from a very small area, Highland Park, Michigan. I always shout that out because
There
those
you
are my
go.
roots. And that's where I come from. So I'm a Highland Park girl, and it's if you know, you know, it you know it's a rough area to grow up in. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
for me, the thing like when I was looking out my front window, I could not see Paris, right?
Oh, yeah,
I could not see
yeah.
the life that I even live now.
Right.
And but I'm looking at the fashion magazines. I'm all into the fashions, all into the designers. At one point, I wanted to be a designer, and I had my little sketchbook and I was sketching stuff. Um and I followed a different route. Became a journalist, got into the writing end of things, right?
Right. Right.
And I thought, fashion designer, I don't know. but I still had this love of Paris.
And not
Now,
only that, fashion as well, because oh my
exactly, but
God.
I kind of put that dream on the shelf a little bit. But Paris was always, I always wanted to go. I would wear the t-shirts, I would have the mugs, the cups, anything I saw Paris in the States, I was all in it, all
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
So those seeds were planted, even though I did not physically get a chance to go until 2017. That was my first solo international trip, Paris.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for me, I felt like, okay, I had this dream to come visit to see what it was like, and I made it happen. So,
Let me ask you a question. Like, I'm listening to you talk about that first trip. And my first trip, I was like, please don't let me down, Paris. Please don't let me down. It was so crazy. I got
hmm
lost in the way that only you can get lost in Paris.
let me
Like,
tell
and
you,
then
all the streets look alike. You're
and
like,
then
this
can't
is
speak the language. And this is before cell phones had GPS and all that stuff. I don't even think I had a cell phone, maybe. But just kind of recognizing a spirit feeling about being there. And I don't
yes.
know if part of it wasn't just accomplishment to get there, but the
hmm
other was it's like walking through a museum. And if you love art, if you love museums, tell me, is it not the best?
It really is. I think a lot of times, of course, I think as Americans, we do romanticize
Yes,
Paris. We
yes,
romanticize France, right?
exactly.
We do. We do. Okay, let's just be
Yes,
we
come
just,
on.
just saying. And
Yep,
I don't know when your first trip was, but mine was 2017 and I had similar problems. I got here, phone didn't work, like I had no GPS.
yep.
Okay. I was just out here. All the streets look alike. I'm directionally challenged anyway. But
Okay,
I had no, here it is. Don't speak the language. This American out here in the streets. At the time, my first trip, I booked a hotel near the airport, which anyone who knows Paris knows that is a wrong place to stay.
no.
But I didn't know. I
Yeah,
just knew I was
yeah.
in Paris. That's all I knew.
Right,
I
right,
got
right.
here, my wallet was stolen. It wasn't stolen. I lost my wallet
Okay.
and it was returned to me.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I lost my
That
wallet.
happened.
I promise you, like, I know the stereotype is that Parisians are really rude, but I
Mm,
can say as
mm,
my first trip, like I was jet lagged, got on the wrong bus. At the bus stop, I was talking to a gentleman in Spanish,
mhm.
like broken Spanish, because I couldn't
Yep,
speak French. And I was
yep.
trying to
Been
rely
there,
on my
done
little
that.
bit of Spanish.
Yep.
And so we were talking. I got on the bus, and apparently it was the wrong bus. Now, apparently, some kind of way, I left my wallet. My wallet had the card, the just the business card of the hotel that I was staying in. And I get off the bus, right? I'm like, crap, I'm on the wrong bus. Get off the bus, and then I wait on the next one because I was going to Paris to exchange my money, right? To
Okay.
get some
Right,
money.
right.
I didn't really plan it right. I only had USD on me.
Hmm.
So I was going to make the exchange. And I get on the wrong bus and I get on the right bus, look for my wallet, I can't find it. So I panic.
Oh my
So I run
goodness.
back to the hotel and I'm like, have you seen a wallet? Has anybody reported a wallet stolen? They were like, no. And they were so helpful. They were like, well, we'll give you €2, so you can get to Western Union or whatever, because I did have my passport still.
Right, right,
And I just, it was an awful start. And I looked everywhere, could not find it. I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. I've never done this before. Never have lost my wallet. And I get to a foreign country and lose my wallet. I'm having a fit. I call my son and I'm like, listen, I need you to send me some money.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Send me some money because I'm out here with no money. I'm out here with just credit cards. But my wallet is gone. I only
Yep.
literally have my passport.
Right.
So I literally get to my hotel. I'm in my hotel room. I'm crying. I'm honestly crying
I
because I'm
can't
like, this is
imagine.
horrible.
This scary.
It's scary. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta cancel these cards. I'll do it in the morning, right? I get a phone call from the hotel and they're like, "Can you please come to the front lobby?" The gentleman who I met at the bus stop had my wallet.
My
And when I tell
goodness.
you, I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, that's a long way to say, um, for me, it started off a little rough,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
just like your experiences of being here, not being sure, getting lost, I had
yeah.
people to help me every step of the way.
Yeah, it's just been God's grace, honestly. And
Yes.
when you talk about the first time you went being 2017, the first time I went, francs were still being used.
Oh, wow.
And so, like,
Wow.
I have francs that I can do nothing with, but just let them be, memorabilia at this point. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. So you went in the 90s
The
or when did you?
90s, the
Okay.
90s.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a friend of mine and I, we just jumped on a plane and went for a long weekend. And I wanted to just visit. I wanted to see how I felt about it. And from that point on, I was just amazed at the culture, the food. I will
Mm-hmm.
say, and you mentioned something about the attitude that most Americans have, that they feel that the French are rude.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell the story that, I could see that on some level, but then
Yeah,
my expectation is different. I think in the States, we expect people to smile all the time. I
we
think we
do.
expect kind of a
We do.
Disneyland approach to, meet and greet and how we interact with each other. And I
We do.
think it's fake and phony as fuck, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, no, I really want, just met you. If you're in your feelings or you're having a bad day, that has nothing to do with me. So my expectations have never been that, oh, you got to be nice to me because you don't really owe me that.
I definitely understand. I think it's just a matter of our cultures are different. And I had someone to explain it to me because most people, like I even tell clients that, look, there are a few things that will kind of unlock a Parisian's friendliness towards you and
Mhm,
friendliness like that. Like of course saying bonjour,
mhm,
you
mhm.
you these are things you have to say,
Right.
please, s'il vous plaît,
Mhm.
merci, thank you. And I think that we as Americans, we look at it and say, well, why are the French so rude? And the way I explain it is, especially for Black people, it's like coming to somebody's house and not telling them hello,
Hello.
not
Exactly.
saying hello means you
Exactly.
will not get an invitation back,
Right. Exactly. I
right?
get
You
that.
will
I
not get an
get that.
invite back. So it's the same way with them. I'm like, if you're asking them for something, they're going to expect that you tell them hello. That's just it's common courtesy, but I think we as Black people understand it
Well,
because
and
if you see a stranger and you walk up to a stranger, you can say, "Oh, excuse me," but you just can't walk up to a stranger and ask them a question
right,
without
right.
acknowledging your presence. And it's the
Exactly.
same thing with the French. They want their presence acknowledged.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah.
From the language standpoint, do you feel that just you're fully immersed? I'm kind of half and half, right?
Okay.
Um, y- do you find that the language, are you taking classes? Because I've actually taken some classes. I'm
Oh
so
wow.
bad. Oh my God. And I don't even want to put that out in the universe. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back.
Take it back. Take it
I
back.
I'm challenged. Okay. I am challenged. Now, I've had some really good teachers, and every
Okay.
time I go, I'm there like 3 months on, 3 months off, right? And
Okay.
that's the one thing I always do is I make sure that I take a class because I
I
know that
love
from
that.
a visa standpoint, you do have to
Mhm.
take classes as well, right?
It depends on which visa you have. So I have the carte séjour visa, the long stay, which
Yep.
is basically the tourist visa, right? Now
Right.
that is renewable annually every year. After the fifth renewal, after 5 years, you can then apply for a 4-year residency, that is my plan. But the caveat is that to get that residency, you have to pass that exam
Yep.
at a B2 level.
Yep.
Now, am I at a B2 level? No, I am not.
Okay.
Me and French, we still fight every single day.
Yeah,
every day.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you're right. It's difficult sometimes. I think, man, I should have, during the time that I was, it took me 4 years to actually, 4 years in 2018, after I had been here maybe 3 times, I said, okay, I want to move here.
Right.
I should have been studying back then.
Yeah,
Okay.
thinking. Yeah,
I should
I
have
know.
been language classes back then, but I did.
I had decades, okay? And while I watch French film, I watch
Okay.
TV in French, I watch
Hmm.
YouTube videos in French,
Hmm.
trying to absorb as much as I
Absorb
can.
it.
It's like hearing myself speak it is so not like the French. And I know that will come. That will come over
Hmm.
time, but I've got to look at productivity versus perfection.
It's hard. I think it's hard. I think even most French people will tell you that the language is very hard and difficult,
Yeah.
even for them. And
Yeah.
I know what my limitations are. And I've gotten to had tutors too. I've had some classes, tutors, and to me, it ultimately breaks down is that the way that I learn,
Right.
and I'm a visual learner, but what I'm seeing on
Yes.
that page, what I'm seeing in that book, is pronounced a whole different way than what my brain is calculating.
Exactly.
So that is part of the reason why I struggle, and that's why I was saying I fight every single day because it is a matter of me trying to understand what is being said to me, and
Right.
I'll make out some words, but I don't know all of them. So
Okay.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
one of the things that I have struggled with, and I've gotten more accustomed to it because I've done more research.
Hmm.
So, finding those things that we as Black women living in Paris absolutely have to have. It was the last trip there that I discovered this whole section of Paris for Black hair care products.
Oh, so did you where did you go? Chateau d'Eau, Chateau Roux? You went to
Chateau
where?
d'eau.
Chateau
Chateau
d'Eau.
d'eau. Hmm.
Yes. Yes. It that is a part of Paris, because it's so interesting. A lot of times when you see the tourism stuff,
Hmm.
there usually aren't people who look like us, right?
Right,
When you
exactly.
find where the black people are, okay? I didn't find out until I want to say like 2021.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, so this is
Right.
where they've been hiding all the black people.
Yes, yes,
Because if you go to
yes.
Chateau Rouge, that's where you get all the African food, right? It's
Yep.
literally called Little Africa. They have
y-
textiles, they have
Yes.
merchants, they have, like you said, this is the side of town. This is where I can get my hair grease, okay?
Yes,
This is
that
where I
part.
can get you know, my mousse, my whatever you wearing in your shea, shea moisture, whatever you wearing, whatever you're
Yep.
doing, you're putting in
Yep.
your hair, okay? That's where you get it from.
Those places and finding them, I literally was like at like Mecca. I'm like,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
instead of me having to have this stuff shipped to me, now that means
Hmm.
I can just go and get it when I need it.
Yes. And I
And
think it's a different experience, right? They're not like the typical the beauty supply store in America,
yeah,
but they got mostly everything you need.
absolutely. And it may be different names to the products or whatever.
Right.
And just like
Right.
anywhere else, you have to try it, test it out, make sure, it's working the same as a product that you're used to. It's just a different name.
Exactly. I mean, when it boils down to it, when you think about it as Black women, we want to know where can I get my hair care products,
Gotta
right?
have it. Gotta
Gotta
have it.
have it. Like
Yep.
I may need a little something, I may need, whatever,
Yep.
whatever you need, moisturizer,
Yep.
deep conditioner, shampoo. I mean, a good moisturizing shampoo, whatever it is that you need, you pretty much can,
Well,
you know.
and also the soul food restaurants. I mean, I just feel so much more at home in Paris now that I have uncovered these nuggets. But
Yes.
I will say, and one of the reasons I'm just so happy that we were able to meet is your path is similar enough to mine that I don't feel like I'm even being judged or looked down on by in any means. I feel that way sometimes with the African blacks that live in France, or especially in Paris. That's who I've had the most opportunity to meet. but I
Okay.
just feel a little bit more like a standoffishness, and perhaps that's survival in Paris. I mean, it's not like France doesn't have its own issues around,
They do.
racism and colorism
They
and all
do.
of that. How's your experience there been?
So my experience is, I would say in some cases it mirrors yours. So I
Mm,
come into it a couple ways. Number
okay.
one, I recognize that we have privilege as Black Americans. Now that privilege is wherever that blue passport takes you. We don't have
Yeah,
the same privilege at home. So it's very
right,
different, and people don't understand unless they've traveled.
right,
And I find that, you know, I've seen the treatment that I've gotten when people assume that I was African, from
right,
Africa,
right,
right?
right.
And the treatment changes when I start speaking. And they
Mm,
recognize that I'm an American. So I realize,
interesting.
my experiences are going to be very different than, let's say, a woman from Senegal. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
My experiences are going to be completely different. And
Right.
many people will probably treat me better than they would treat her. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I've
So,
seen it too, and honestly, I feel the same way about it over there that I do at home. I
mhm.
mean, people are just people, and the fact that you treat me nicer doesn't make me feel better.
No, it
It's like,
doesn't.
no,
It
no.
doesn't. Because I call
Mm-mm.
them out on it. Like, no, I saw how you were moving, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I saw how you were moving before. So I think that a lot of times we as Black women, as Black American women, one of the things I'll say moving here is that I miss, and I still do miss, I have Black American friends here, right?
yeah,
But I miss our, our Kikin, I
yeah,
miss
yeah,
us,
yeah.
right?
I know.
Because we're a whole vibe wherever we are. And I think that the thing that we have to realize is that even though there are other people that we share the same, skin tone, beautiful hair, we share the same things, but we're from different cultures. And
Right.
so that's sometimes where I think maybe the standoffishness comes from, because culturally we look alike, but
Yeah,
culturally we are
it's different.
different.
It's different.
We're,
It's
we're
different.
very different. And so I've had to check myself and say, the bond that I feel with other Black American women is the instant bond. I don't even have to know you. I can
No,
walk in Paris and I can
I
always
know.
recognize us.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I don't, wherever we are culturally, we see each other and we recognize each other.
Yeah. And
And I
that
had to
nod
learn
that you give, absolutely.
exactly. And I
Hmm.
had to learn that we don't share that with other people.
Right, right.
Meaning, I can't expect the same thing from a woman from Cameroon who's in
Yeah,
France,
yeah,
for
exactly.
example.
Her experience is different.
Yeah,
Let's talk
yeah.
about the men in France.
The
Let's talk about the men in
men.
Paris. I can talk about men in France, not just
Okay.
Paris, but tell me how have you dated at all since you've been in the country?
I have dated. So a little bit about me is that I'm widowed, right?
Right, right.
I came here uh in 2017, widowed, and I experienced it for the first time, like, wow. I was a bit blown away. I was a
Huh?
bit surprised, but I try to tell everybody, like, please do yourself a favor, like, come and date here. Because
Yes.
because you know,
Uh,
depending upon what you like, it's here.
yeah, yeah.
If you like the tall, dark, and chocolate,
Yep.
it's a lot of them here.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
whole lot of them. It's a whole lot of them. That's all I'm gonna say. And additionally, depends on, people often assume, like, oh, so are you saying just, date French men? I mean, they're here too. Now
Yep,
they're here too.
exactly.
It is a variety of people. It's a variety of I'll just say it like that. It's a variety of
Yeah.
people.
So what I find is the pace of life is different.
It is very different.
Everybody is not just like, okay, watching their watch. I got 30 minutes and then I got to bounce. Okay.
Hmm.
people do value relationships. And that is just so cool to me that someone has the time and takes the time and wants to take the time to get to know me on a level that is actually asking me some questions about myself. I was talking to another friend of mine and I said, it just is amazing to me when I am in the presence of a gentleman who truly is interested in everything I'm saying. And I find that often in France to be the case. How about you?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's, we're different culturally, right? There
Right.
is there is there is a mystique about
There's
our
a
culture.
curiosity, exactly, that
Curiosity,
comes straightforward.
exactly.
Yep, yep.
Exactly. So that is often your entryway, in terms of
Yes,
like whether it's dating or even if it's just a platonic friend, right? There's
right,
because a lot of times the questions I'm asked is like, why did you leave America? I'm
right.
always asked that question.
Yep.
And or why did you leave America? Like, what was your life like
They're
there?
not
Were you?
asking that question as much anymore, though.
I know, because they're like Trump, and I'm
Ah,
like, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. They kind of
But
get it now.
they get it a little bit. But even so, I think that there's still this
No, I
question
understand.
about
Sure,
about
sure.
us.
Yeah,
But
sure.
you're right. People here, they take time to meet with their friends, to get to know their friends, they may be at the cafe for hours, they may be going on a walk, they may just be, I'll go by the park and I will see on a nice day, I will see people with picnic,
I love that.
baskets
I
and
love
blankets
that.
and enjoying I mean, even sometimes they're colleagues, they're work
Yeah.
colleagues, you can tell, other times they're families. Life is different.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
It's
I
very
think
different.
that it's more intentional when it comes to relationships. I really find that pretty easy to meet and get to know anyway. But I do find that because I don't know as many people here,
Hmm.
when I am here, I'm not working at the same pace that I am back at home. And I
Yes.
allow myself to take a breath, a beat, and just really, because I think I do the same thing. There are times when I'm, more, focused on, okay, the clock, the clock, the clock. It's kind of
Mhm.
ingrained. I
Yep.
slow
Yep.
down. I slow down when I'm in France. I really do. And I actually rest more when I'm there.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think it seeps in, and I think that's the thing that I think a lot of maybe, French don't understand because it's part of their culture, and I think that a lot of Americans may not understand as well because we are so used to go, go, go. Everything is built around convenience, and when you get to a country like France and it's not built around convenience, drive through like
No,
the drive through Starbucks does not technically exist here.
no, it doesn't. No,
You are taught, your expectations are different. You're expected to, if you go to, a certain establishment, nice restaurants, you know, you may not get that meal unless it's a fast casual. You're not going to get that meal in like
no,
5
no,
minutes.
no, no. They're
It's going
not
to
in
take
any hurry.
it's going to take time, and
Yeah,
you are expected to enjoy your food.
that's right. That's right.
Enjoy the experience. You aren't asked every 5 minutes, is everything okay?
Right. So that they remind you, you're
You need
here
to
at my
go.
table. You need to keep it moving, keep it moving. Turn
Right.
this table over. I have literally sat at restaurants in Paris for hours and nobody
Same,
bothered me at all.
same, exact
Yeah,
same. I would walk my dog and I would go in the morning sometimes and I would see the same people there at the end of the day.
right,
So, not saying all the time, but I'm
right.
just saying
Yeah.
you would see it. People having a good time.
Well, we got to talk about the food. We got to mention the food, girl. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. I have
Absolutely.
made my way through Paris, one amazing meal after another. And I'm pretty good at picking good food wherever I am. My friends will typically even order what I order because it's like, don't even chance it. It's just kind of a thing that I have. But
Okay.
the freshness, the quality of the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody is, expected. Even when I grocery shop, I'm like, nobody has freezers, It's like you buy what you're gonna cook the next couple days and then you go back to the store.
I was telling a friend that yesterday, and is I'm telling her, I'm like, well, number one, my space is entirely different, right? I'm in a
Exactly.
very small space. And I'm telling her that, don't get me wrong, there are some Costco's here, right?
Hmm.
It happens to be a little bit outside of Paris, and I don't drive here. But the whole concept of you having this super big pantry,
Yeah,
the shopping habits are you going to the store a couple times a week.
right.
You
Exactly.
buying what is in season at the
That's right. That's
farmers
right.
markets that are in your arrondissement, right? That is
Yeah.
how the shopping goes. And even when it comes to sizes, like you don't find these super extra large
No, no,
sizes also.
no,
You
no.
know, it just it's a different culture.
I remember the first time I went to the Monoprix, I was like, okay, this is the closest thing to, I would say, like a Walmart or a Target that they've
Yeah,
got, right?
yeah,
And so
yeah.
at least you can purchase things for your house and things
Right,
for, groceries in the same store.
right,
But for the
right,
most part, all the neighborhoods have the standalone bakery. They have the standalone meat market and the fruit and vegetable market. But what I
right.
like about that is getting to know those people that see you coming. And I stay between Paris and Honfleur. Honfleur is in the Normandy region.
Okay, okay.
And it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, it is I'd been going to France so long and I always went to Paris. And then once I was ready to start spending more time in France,
Hmm.
I didn't really want to be in the city all the time.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay.
so I take the train from it's Lazare, the
Hmm.
Gare Lazare, and
Hmm.
it takes me to Normandy. It takes about an hour to get there, hour and a
Yep.
half. And
Hmm.
it is Honfleur is right where the Seine River and the English Channel meet. So it's
Oh, so you're on that side. Okay.
yes,
So
yes,
you're right near England, right? You're right
yes.
near.
It's the
Okay.
English Channel is just right. It's right above me, right?
Okay.
um the most peaceful place ever. And I just feel like that, there aren't a lot of black people in on floor. I
Yeah.
met the ones
Yeah.
that are there, but
Yeah.
crossing over the bridge is La Havre, which is
Okay.
like a more of a port town. So again, I can find black hair care products. I can find,
Okay.
food that, that's different. So, and I met some people who live there because that's where I go for my French class.
Okay.
Um, and I would just walk up to people and introduce myself. And I know they know I'm American. I'm American when you see me, but I've
Right.
gone so much now that it's the coolest thing to get there. And people are like, Marsha, because
Oh,
I'm 6 feet tall, you're not gonna miss me. But they're
okay.
kind of like, once they know I'm in town for a while, they're like, how long are you gonna be here this time? I love that community that I'm building for myself.
Oh, I love it. And I love the fact that you're here, you said you're like every 3 months or so, or
Yep.
you stay for
Yep.
3 month periods. And I love the fact that you've experienced Paris and then you've experienced something else, right, in
Yes.
France,
Yes.
which is totally different, right? The life
Yes.
is even the way when you get outside of Paris, life is so totally different. It moves different. The people are different, right?
It
And I
and
think
and the
Paris is
history
kind of
is
like the New York
amazing.
City. Is New
Huh?
York Paris is like to me like how
Yes.
New York City is, right?
Yes.
And then once you go outside of that, it's totally different.
Yeah, nothing is the same when you get outside. I mean, everything rather is the same once you get outside in New York City. It's just a whole different vibe, right?
Right, right.
And then once you get outside of the city, it's a slower pace. I
Exactly.
just did not want noise all the time.
All the
And I've
time.
been in the city enough that I was like, I think I need, and I'm a writer as well. So
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
other thing, and I'm actually gonna gift you some of my books so that you can
Oh,
you can see
you.
how Paris weaves into everything.
Oh my
France is
goodness.
actually, and Paris particularly, is a character in my book series, The Ranch and
Oh, I love
Stilettos.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
So
it. I love
I
it.
will definitely gift you that so that you're able to get a chance to meet the characters in my book, and I'll get your feedback. I'd love to have that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, one last question for you. When you
Okay.
come back to the States, how do you feel? Which way feels more home now? Because I want to tell you how I'm feeling about that too.
So for me, Paris definitely feels home. I'll say that I go back to America. I try to go back, I want to go back maybe a little bit more.
Mhm.
I was there in September for a month, and then I'll go back for a short visit in February.
Okay.
Um, but Paris is home for me, and I like to visit America. Now, my grown
Yeah.
children are there, and my
Right.
mama and my
Uh-huh.
brothers and sisters are in America. So I'm always going to go back
Right.
to see them. But for me, I'm at the point to where I kind of just like to visit the US. The
Yeah.
US will always be my quote unquote like second home, but like this Paris is, France is my home. That's kind of
Well,
how I
I
feel. But at the same time, sometimes I will be honest too and say that my anxiety level increases the minute I go to Charles de Gaulle Airport.
going home.
Going home,
Oh,
going home,
wow.
my
Wow.
anxiety it definitely increases.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to come clean. I have probably for the last 2 years of making the journey back and forth, I experienced like real depression when I
Yes.
come back to the States.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have such a peaceful life in France. And
Hmm.
it's not that, I can't be peaceful in the States. I just am not. I feel like when I'm there, I feel like I have so much I need to do, people I need to see. And then as part of a family, I want to support, be contributing.
Right.
And I'm very much like most Black women, we overcompensate for who we just being present.
Hmm.
Don't know any other
Yeah.
way to say it. I can exist. Okay, then let me do 10 times more than everybody
Right.
else.
Right.
And I don't
Right.
feel that pressure to do that when I'm in France. I just don't. And the last couple of times I tried to get ahead of the depression when I was getting ready to come back home
Mhm.
and like already have in mind when I'm leaving again so that I have that to look forward to.
Look forward to. I think
Yeah,
that's a wonderful way of looking at it. I know that when I would go back home to Atlanta, right? I would be in Atlanta wishing that I was in Paris.
I
And
know.
I can definitely relate to what you're saying in terms of like that, like yeah, that depression, like I'm going back, you know, the aggressions, the macro aggressions that we have to
Yes.
deal with every day as Black women in America.
Oh
Now
God.
that does not mean that life is perfect in France. It does
No,
not mean that.
that's true. That's true.
But trust me, like my life is very, very different. And the level of aggressions that I face, that's why I was saying they begin at the airport.
Yep.
They
Yep.
begin before I even can get on a plane to go back to the US. The microaggressions begin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you have to, just like you said, you can breathe. And I've
Yeah.
always felt that way. Here I can breathe. And I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are always like, oh, why here? Why not here? Why? No, it's not
You don't
about
have
that.
and you know
It's
what?
about going where I feel peace.
And you don't have to understand it. Okay.
Exactly.
I've explained it. I've tried to explain it. And then
Mhm.
every time I get ready to come back again, they're like, okay, well, what's over there? Who's over there? It isn't about a who, it isn't about a what, it is about my own mental peace. And as
Yes.
a writer and creative person, that piece allows me to create on a whole nother level. Everything is it's open season.
Because when you get back to America, I think that's the thing, like we were discussing earlier. It's a hustle and bustle.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
get back, you know you have to be like, I think subconsciously, it's like, okay, I got to be on grind mode. I got to be on hustle
Right,
mode. Is
right,
that good for us? No, it's not, especially being in creative professions that we both are in, right?
right.
That we
Exactly.
both enjoy. But I think that here it allows us to be able to take a breath and to breathe, and that expands into our creativity.
So I know you've got a couple of work gigs that are happening for you. One is that for folks who are traveling to Paris, you can support them in, kind of giving them some guidance about where to go and what to do. And do you want to talk a little bit about how to get in touch with you for that?
Sure, thank you. Yes, I do offer a suite of services that are designed for people who want to either travel to Paris, also just expats who are trying to find their way and they may need help with how to navigate certain things. I've been here for officially for 3.5 years, right? But I've been traveling here since 2017. So I know a few things.
Right,
So I offer whether it's for day trips or half day trips, or again, just people looking to plan an itinerary, right,
right.
to Paris. Whether that's a day trip to Versailles or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that may be. And where people can reach me is on calendly.com/Tanisha Mercer. And that is where they can find my offerings of, again, whatever it is that you need in terms of travel planning, itinerary, all of my services are there.
I love that. Tanisha, we have got to get together in real life. The next time I'm in the
Yes,
city, I'll reach out and
yes,
I'll give you a heads up and let you know when I'm going to be there. And we'll
absolutely.
we'll connect and have a great dinner or a lunch or whatever works for your schedule. But I am so excited to know and connect with you. And let's just cheer. I'll give you a cheers out. Toast to meeting you finally after stalking you for several months. I absolutely love what you're doing. And sister, keep it going. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And you definitely are inspiration to me I love seeing us out here in these streets, living our lives unapologetically,
There you
doing
go.
things the way we want to do them, how we want to do them. So, cheers and salute to you as well.
And keep rocking that hat, girl.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Definitely talk soon.
Hi, everyone. Just a reminder that the Rancher Stilettos Presents is sponsored by Iconic Creations. They make amazing one-of-kind jewelry pieces. Please check them out on their website, Iconic Creations, and make sure that as you're checking out, you use the word Rancher to get 10% off. Thanks. The tab was closing. Everyone looking.